Recording voiceover demos fast and efficiently. Hello, I'm Peter Baker, an experienced voiceover, one of the producers of the training courses at voiceovermasterclass.com. Now in this video, I'm going to give you my advice as to how to handle auditions and demos for voice acting jobs, and with my own tips to save you a lot of time, including how to program Audacity software and Adobe Audition to power process your auditions, to be clean and punchy, or add as many effects as you want with just one keystroke. That's coming up later. The first thing, have you heard of Fomo, fear of missing out? The thing is, I'm lucky, I'm experienced and established with plenty of regular clients that send me scripts to fill up my day in the voice booth over there, so I actually don't need to audition for everything that comes in. And it's nice to be able to simply say, sorry, too busy. And if you're starting out, this is a stage in your working life you can look forward to when you generate more regular clients, so you never get an empty day with nothing there. But even if you are busy and your diary is full, there's still this fear of missing out, getting a new interesting client to work for. And you also fear that some of your current clients who use you as a voiceover may one day go off your voice, or find someone more suitable, or simply stop trading or move in another direction, that sort of thing. So that's why I can quite understand every voice artist fearing missing out, thinking to every audition request they get there in their inbox, better do this. So you do all the recording and editing and all the messing around for just one of these things, and then suddenly realize 20 minutes has gone from your precious day. So here are my tips of how I record and send demos really quickly. Firstly, if you've been emailed direct by existing clients or an agent who has targeted you personally, well, here you do have to do a demo for them. You can't ignore them, because if someone's got a good enough relationship to email you direct and they think you'd be great for the job and you worked for them before, you don't want to snub them, do you? So you would read exactly what they want and produce a demo as quickly as possible, propose a fair fee as well. However, you may also be members of various online communities and pay-to-play sites, Envato Studio, Voices.com, Voice123, Bordalgo, Fiverr, Upwork and so on. Or you may have agents who send demos out to everybody on their books. And there, you're going to compete with many other voiceovers. You don't personally know the person putting the job on the voiceover website, maybe. So it's okay to ignore these requests. You won't be snubbing them. But you don't want to waste your time either, do you? So first of all, make sure that the description of the voice that they are looking for matches your voice, your age, and accents and styles that you can perform. I know many beginner voiceovers who just go for everything, you know. They even jobs that they want a young voice and they're old, or the other way around. Male voiceovers auditioning for jobs which specifically ask for a female, and I can change your mind. No, don't. You're wasting your time and them. So that's the first thing you can do, to filter out your audition inquiries. Make sure you are matched. The next thing to do is see if there's a fee attached to the proposal. If it's too low, simply ignore it or reject it. In fact, on some sites like Upwork, you can even explain in your rejection, if you've been invited to something, that the fee is low, or click to reject further communications from clients who sometimes offer insultingly low rates for jobs. Astonishing how some clients take advantage of desperate voiceovers who want to start in the business and offer terrible fees. It's important that we train clients to realize the worth of a professional voiceover, using our professional equipment, taking up our professional time, and that the fee offers them the rights to use it the way they want. So anyway, lecture over. If the fee is okay, the next thing is to read exactly what's needed in the proposal. Many people just, open the PDF, read it, send it out, but they didn't read what was on the email or at the bottom or the top. Just read it all. Maybe there's a video with a rough cut to watch. Maybe there's a link to a voiceover they like but can't afford. Yes, they send a link to Tom Hiddleston or Stephen Fry or whatever. By the way, if you're British, Australian, or anything that's not North American, you may get sent a video with an American accent, and they say, we want something like this. But don't worry, they're not looking for an American accent most of the time. Usually they just want a version of the American video that usually is the original with your own accent. However, they do want the same vocal style and the same emotion. But read carefully exactly what they're looking for. Next, open up the script. Make sure there are no words that need looking up. You know, these days, with so many good company names already taken, you'll find some very strange new companies. You really will. Some really strange mashups of company names out there. And quite often you can pronounce them 2 or 3, 4 ways, you know. So make sure you are pronouncing the name right, or there's no way the agency you're sending it to could play it to their end client. It's a bit insulting if you don't know how to say their precious company name correctly. If it's a fairly long script and the client insists on you reading it all the way through, if you have the time, considering the urgent reel paid that you may have in your inbox, you may really need to do this. They probably want to try your voice out in the video timeline, and it may have a guide voice or a computer voice, you see. So you've got to read it all. If you only read a small part of the audition script, the agency or production company can't really show the whole thing to the end client to accept your voice. So you'd be wasting your time as well as theirs. And don't change words just for the sake of it, or even worse, add those annoying blips throughout. Bleep, bleep, thinking that the agency are going to steal your audition. Look, firstly, you're going to send a low-quality MP3 audio file, right? Also, it's extremely rare for people to steal voiceover demos without paying. If they do, you'll know never to work for them again. But to be honest, 99.9% of clients are perfectly trustworthy, so don't insult them by insinuating they're all potential thieves by putting these audio blip spoilers on your demos. Once you've recorded your audition, listen back to at least the first 10 seconds. So important this. This is usually the first part the client hears when the decision is made. Quite often, if they're busy, they're not going to listen all the way through. All right? If it gets better, you've lost them by then. Your voice is either right for the job or it's not. And that first sentence or couple of sentences are absolutely critical. And you would re-record the opening section afterwards if it's not 100% up to your hopefully high standards. Now, I do this quite a lot anyway, to be honest, because only at the end of the script do you realize completely the vibe they're looking for and the voice style that you should have taken at the beginning sometimes. So, as a matter of course, I tend to re-record the first sentence or sentences again at the end to make it perfect. Finally, the big technical tip of this video relates to how quickly you can process your file after you've recorded it. So you record it, obviously you would manually cut out your mistakes from the recording and any really big breaths as well. I personally wouldn't bother completely de-breathing it, maybe only at the start, unless it's an acting script, in which case you send it as it is, you leave all the breaths in, of course, au naturel. Most voiceover recordings, however, sound much better with breaths out and some electronic compression on it. You want it to sound good and punchy when they play your audition on the loudspeaker at the other end in the meeting room at the ad agency to make a good impression. People will go, ooh, you know? So you may want to clean up low-level background noises as well. But of course, to mess around with levels and compression and noise reduction takes time. And that's what, of course, you should do for each paid professional job. But it's only an audition. So please use my tip of having a single keyboard stroke that will process your auditions. You just do your editing, chop out the bad bits, click one key, done, send it, all right? Now in both Audacity and Adobe Audition, you can record a sequence of effects and assign a single key to it, and it saves so much time for every audition you do. So let me show you how to add multiple effects very quickly in 2 software programs. First of all, the excellent free Audacity, and then I'll show you after that in Adobe Audition. So we'll record something first of all, and I'll just drag that out so the dog sees the rabbit. We're recording in mono, of course. I see so many people still recording in stereo. You can fix that in Edit Preferences, by the way. But yes, us voiceovers only have one mouth. I'm talking any old rubbish, just pretending this is my audition, and let's pretend there's no mistakes in it. So I start recording, and I end recording, and I push the stop button, and there's some rubbish at each end that needs to be tidied up, so we do that first of all by highlighting it and pushing delete. pushing the home button on the keyboard, and that's where we get the beginning rubbish. Delete that as well. Do any other edits in there. Now, how do we set up multiple effects? That can be done really, really quickly. Well, some people call these multiple effects. In Audacity, it used to be called a chain. They don't call it anymore. They call it now a macro, which is kind of what more people understand as a sequence of things that you can get to do with one keystroke. So all the effects are here, and basically you want to add them in whatever order you want, and you'll probably find that you have your own favorites. If you are in, unfortunately, a pretty noisy place, you might want to add noise reduction first, then you would want to normalize it, then you want to put some compression on, and then normalize it again, whatever. So here we go, let's find a macro. So we go to Tools, and then Macros, and New. We're creating a new macro. We'll call it Quick Demo. Because if you had a paid job, you would do things manually and spend some time on it. And this is an audition, and you just want to make it sound punchy and to send it out as quickly as possible. So we'll call this Quick Demo OK. So we want to insert something in our new macro. So let's pretend that we have no noise reduction problems at all, but you may want to put that first. First thing you need to do with anything is to normalize it. So we'll go and find Normalize here and click that. Just to make sure that the parameters are okay, we go Edit Parameters, -1. Well, let's do it -3 to begin with. It could be a shouty thing, you see, because we're going to use this macro for all future demos. Some of them are soft speaking, and some of them are big shouty things. So let's do -3 to give it some headroom for the things we're about to do, and we click OK, and go OK. So that's the first thing we're going to do, normalize. Now we're going to add something else in. Let's put a compressor in. And for you personally, your voice booth, and the kinds of things you're going to do, you are going to add a different type of compressor. So at the moment, this is what I'm putting in. It's the standard one that comes with it. And you need to experiment to find what's your favorite, and then store that compressor as something else, as your own little favorite. And then we're going to put normalize in again. And now we're going to boost it. So we click Amplify, and then Edit Parameters. Amplification in dB, I'm going to put 3 for here. Yours will be totally different from mine. You may have totally different studio setup, interface, whatever. And we go OK on there. And so I think that'll be OK. Just click and call it End. And we go OK. So this is our original recording. Pretty low level, but that's okay. It's not distorted, and it's not bad enough that it's hissy and horrible, but we just need to compress it and boost it a little bit for our quick demo. So we go into Tools, Macros, and there we are. Our quick demo is always going to be there for us, and it's not okay. You've got to tell the macro to Project or Files. I'm going to put it to this project. Watch what happens. Oh, it was so quick, you couldn't tell. And so basically all I've done for this is to compress it and to normalize it and to boost it a bit. So we'll record something first of all and look at the levels. They're nice and punchy. So when they play that in the ad agency office, you'll be punching out there. In fact, if you want to do it again for this particular one, make sure that you're not doing, say, EQ again or anything strange. But this is only, to be honest, just a quick amplifying compressor. I could just do it again by clicking Project, and look, it's gone even louder, man. Hey, man, it's up to 11 now. So we'll record something first of all, and I'll just drag and whatever. So that's how to do it in Audacity. But in Adobe Audition, it's even easier. And this is Adobe Audition, and yes, you do have to pay for this, but it does have some rather nice features that are worth paying for, in my humble opinion. So let's just quickly record something here. And so, I don't know, this is yet another audition. I'm talking any old rubbish now, but it's been set up so that even if it's shouty, it won't go into the red, but I can be nice and soft and close to the mic like this. And that's the end of the audition. So I stop recording by pushing the space bar, and this time we want to go into favorites. It's not called chains, it's not called macros. In Audition, it's called recording a favorite. Favorites at the top, start recording favorite. All right, and it tells you some stuff there about what's happening, but I'm telling you what's happening. So you go OK. So what you would do for a quick audition is to normalize it. So I go into normalize to -3, as I did before. Now I'm going to add a compressor. Well, Audition's got some excellent compressors. The one I like is called a multi-band compressor. This is my own little preset, but you won't have that. You will have Broadcast, which is a superb one for voiceover, particularly smooth and punchy, authoritative voiceovers. So we'll apply that, and then we'll apply Normalize again. And now we're going to boost it even more. We've got a little bit of headroom there. I'm just going to add 2 dB. So I'm now going to go into Amplify and then put 2 dB in. 2 dB and apply. And there we are. That's what I want. Now, all this time in the background, Adobe Audition has been recording the sequence of effects I've been putting on here. So we need to go back to Favorites and stop recording Favorite. All the time it's been recording. And we'll call this Quick Demo. There we go, Quick Demo, and it's done. So next time I want to do anything, this is a slightly different way of doing it as we did in Audacity. I'm now going to start a new file. So this is a new file. This is a new audition. I just quickly want to sound punchy and send out. So I'll stop there. All I have to do now is to go into Favorites. And where is it? Oh, there we are, Quick Demo. Just click that once. And it's done it. It's done all those things. And as I could have done with Audacity, you could add EQ, add noise reduction, add all sorts of crazy stuff if you want to. And you can call it whatever you want. And now it's really punchy. So this is a new file, which you probably can't tell listening on your little speaker on your laptop or whatever. But the cool thing with this is that you can also make it a keyboard shortcut. So you would find Favorites down there. You would find your Quick Demo, which will be there, and you can drag it to a key that you don't use, say H, whatever, or D for demo, if you don't want lasso selection, by the way. Who does? I'm not a fan of the lasso personally. I'd get rid of that. So you highlight that, go down here, click off, so now that's free. I can go back to my Quick Demo, and then highlight it, drag it over to D, and then go OK. Don't forget to do that. So then if I have anything else, I can just simply push the D key and do it. I've already done all that lot, so that is going to be ridiculously compressed now. But basically, that's how you add multiple effects or macros. So I hope that's been useful to you, and I hope that you're successful with your audition submissions. Remember, with demos, it's not just a case of being lucky. The harder you work, the luckier you get. We have plenty more training for voiceovers and actors at voiceovermasterclass.com. There are courses you can subscribe to, and a really decent free one as well, where you can try us out. So have a good day behind the microphone, and see you soon.